Hello, everybody. Glitch Reaper here again, and I'm here with another kind of mod author hangout with Enderman of Doom, and this
Ye.
is for his Mo Withers mod, so I'll be reviewing it with him on Skype. So say hello, Enderman of Doom.
Ye. Hello, YouTube. Once again, we are back for this. Another one of my mods.
Yes, he actually has three at this time. This includes Titans, which, yes, it is his most popular. Mo Withers, which I'm doing right here, and Engender, which he is doing some really cool updates on, and we'll probably get to that later at some point. Anyhow,
Updates
and
that
this
many
armor,
people
in
will
case you're
probably
wondering,
like.
is Wither armor, because again, we're doing Mo Withers.
Yes.
Also, as
That's
usual, at any time you're curious what version of Minecraft I'm in, modded, whenever I'm doing anything, please look at the upper left corner of the screen because I actually like that
he
being there
is
when I
in
record.
1.8.
It's very handy to remind yourself what version you're in. So, yes.
He is in 1.8. He is in 1.8.
Yes. Uh, in fact, would you like to tell them the technical difficulty you're having in terms of going up, which is apparently very, very, very suggested to you right now?
No! They changed the health system in 1.9 and beyond.
This summarizes his pain. If any of you watching this are modders that know how to get past that, please send your tips along to Enderman of Doom. You will find him in various locations and under several different names. In fact, would you like to go over that just so that they can give you advice on how to bypass the health issue?
Yes. On the forum, on the Minecraft forum, I am known as Ander with her very long last name. It's basically Treasure of the End spelt backwards.
Yes. That is ANDR beginning, so whenever you search that name, you should find his very quickly. Also, you can find him under his various forums, including the Titans mod, Engender, and of course Mo Withers, which we're doing here. So,
And my
and on
other
Curse,
known
he has a
alias,
slightly different one as well.
my other known alias is Enderman of Doom. That's Doom with zeros, not O's.
Yeah, I may have that listed wrong in some of my earlier Titans videos that I haven't really recorrected yet. But even
That
then,
could have
I
confused
linked it to your
somebody.
channel directly anyhow, so that shouldn't really matter.
Exactly.
Okay. Anyhow, and that'll obviously happen again. But without further ado, I'd like to get into the introduction to the Mo Withers mod. And some of this I'll just be kind of going along. I don't have displays set up or anything. I'll just be showing off some of the various stuff because a lot of it
This
isn't
is the
really
first.
meant to be decorative, except one really major thing that's also really important that we'll go over, and I'll just do it as we do it.
So this is the very first one. We aren't we this is the basic review. It actually might be the longest one, at least until we get to the more serious stuff like Witherzilla levels of ridiculousness for this mod.
Yeah, this
This
is
mod
another
has
one that
Wither
goes in serious tiers and stages from the lesser stuff to the greater stuff, and the greater
there
stuff is officially at the level of ridiculous. So
there
you could
is
you
no
could
tier system for the Withers, but there is definitely a difficulty gap
yeah, that's what
between
I mean
certain
by
Withers.
tiers. Is it kind of goes up in power scale. Like you have weaker versions, and then you go upwards, and then you get to absolutely incredible stuff.
Like
So
some of them, you might notice that at least a few of them that we'll be doing will probably won't be that long. They might even be less than 8 minutes, which for us is untraditional. But hey, we'll be doing a video per wither.
well, I have a different philosophy when it comes to doing Minecraft videos, and it's why I have a kind of a mixture of different lengths. For me, it takes as long as it takes, and then afterwards edit what is irrelevant. So if it's really short, it's really short. If it's really long, it's really long. For me, it's just however it comes out, you know. So if we're doing shorter ones, hey, that's cool. People can fit that in, but between different half-hour shows. If it was longer than an hour, kick back on a weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
there will always
so
be a time where it fits.
let us dive into this just like what we did with the Titans mod. There is no Arcadium. Arcadium is for the Titans, and if Arcadium existed in this, it would probably allow you to overpower most of them almost all, if not almost all the withers in this mod.
Yeah. Again, this isn't Titans. We're doing a different power skill here. You do not have things that are regularly world-ending. You only have a few things that are world-ending. So, building your way up, you
And
don't need as ridiculous
and
of
uh,
materials.
and in tradition to a wither, these world-ending things can only be made into existence by you. So
Yeah,
If the
so
world
you will
ends,
not
it's
have
your fault.
random world-ending events in this one like with the Titans. Instead, you will be building them just like you do with traditional Withers. So, what will be the beginning point of this? I think there's a
We will
special statue involved.
we will start. We will first dive into this. Before we get into that, we will dive into the armor and tool sets. And the first one is Emerald.
Yes. Now,
Yes,
this
I
does add
know.
its own tab, like a lot of mods, so you'll be looking for the Mo Withers tab, and its symbol right now is a bone. Just saying. You'd think it'd be a Wither skull, just saying, but it's a bone.
Uh,
And as you could kind of imagine with most sets of Emerald, which have been added in various other mods, in fact, it's the exact same recipe, so there's also a chance you might wind up needing to have a no more recipe conflicts installed, because that means if you want a particular version like these, then you'd be able to switch over to it, because it has been known to allow you to do identical items. So this is pretty much the same as you may have seen from other mods, with emeralds being the key ingredient to everything in the traditional recipe sense, and even the fact that the emerald tools actually use sticks, so we're not using like crazy custom sticks or anything like that here. So again, unlike with Titans mod, we're not using like diamonds for your haft.
yes. Although, yeah, these are regular tools. They will require emeralds instead of the traditional stuff.
Yes, and
Still require sticks. What they essentially are diamond tools with more durability.
yes,
That's what
and
they are.
maybe
And
slightly different
this can
stats.
be
Like the emerald
helpful.
sword is a little bit better than regular diamond, but just
This can
barely.
be
It's like a plus
helpful.
8 instead of plus 7.
This can be helpful, especially if you have a trading system going with a villager farm. Just instead of going out and mining diamonds, you just farm for the villagers and obtain emerald armor and
Or,
emerald
if of course,
tools.
if you're like me and you happen to actually know how to trade with villagers normally, you eventually have enough profit to just literally make your stuff out of money.
Yes.
I once in
However,
one of my
emeralds
original vanilla worlds, I actually had over a stack of emeralds that I didn't know what to do with. I was profiting so much.
that would
So yes,
definitely
you
be
can
able to
work it.
make you a full set of emerald armor
I
tools.
would have had everything if I had this mod back then.
But of course, this is the Withers mod. With Withers, you can't have enough armor because Withers do a ungodly amount of damage. Even the regular one is just absolutely absurd in how much damage it can do to you over time.
Yeah, so
But
with
this is
that,
Mo
there
Withers.
will
With
be, of
Mo,
course, a different set, and that is the
there,
Wither set, which I'm also currently wearing.
this is Mo Withers. Yet another, yes, another Mo mod. I used the Mo because there's so many Mo mods out there that add Mo stuff, like Mo zombies and
Well, it
ske-
makes sense
Mo
in a way.
Endermen, Mo skeletons, Mo creatures.
It makes sense in a way to have Mo. So,
It
I
seems to
mean,
be a
you
it
want
seems to be a
Mo.
thing.
It's like you want Mo, you get Mo. That's how it goes. You get Mo stuff if you have this mod. So therefore, it's Mo this or Mo that. So in this case, it's Mo Withers.
And in this mod, you will need to, of course, take down the withers, all the various withers with this much better set, the wither set.
Now, as you can see, as I'm going over here, uh, although the look makes you think that you need Wither skeleton skulls, they actually need Nether stars. So this stuff is expensive. But as you can
You will
also
be
see,
needing to
I
kill
have
lots
no
of
other
withers.
mods installed that give me special abilities, and I have an absurd amount of special abilities from wearing this set. I have Night Vision, Speed 3, Haste 4, Strength 3, Saturation, which means I'll never need to eat anything while wearing this set, Jump Boost 3, Resistance 2, which is very fair, might I add, Fire Resistance, and Water Breathing. So you could go through pretty much any environment in Minecraft with this set. It is utterly ridiculous.
You essentially gain the resistances of wither, and that goes up to and including complete no resistance to fire damage. I'm pretty sure you also can't drown. You can see the dark stuff that's invisible. I don't think you can. I don't think that works yet. Like stuff still is invisible, but you even slow fall. You even slow falls in this set.
If
Slow
you want
fall
to have
like
things that were previously visible, ask Azanar because he had a way to do that. Just saying. I mean, that's what wearing the goggles revealing are all about in Thaumcraft. I'm just saying. I know you're not as familiar with Thaumcraft as
But
me and some of my viewers, but the thing
but
is that it had a way of making things that were completely invisible visible. Like the node system, eventually, instead of being blocks, there were special entities in the world that kind of weren't entities and were at the same time. If you just
this
put on the goggles, they were visible. If you didn't have them on, you didn't see them at all. So they just suddenly showed up whenever you did that.
so this set does allow you to slow fall, but you only slow fall when you're not flying. Because even in survival mode with this set on, you are able to fly, and you can fly pretty fast.
So it basically toggles creative mode flying, right?
Even in survival mode,
Okay.
you turn into an absolute beast with this set on, essentially.
In fact, I'm going to go into survival mode for a moment just to show that off. So there we go. And I'm flying in survival with this set because it's that cool.
So it's essentially you are Sword of Isha Wither.
Yes, I'm flying around, and well, withers themselves kind of use something like creative mode flight, but not exactly because they code it for mobs differently than they do for players. So just saying. But back to the recipes.
This set will be required to defeat withers. Of course, it's made in Nether Stars. So you will need to defeat withers to defeat withers.
Well, you need to defeat regular withers to defeat new withers, we should say.
Yes. Just go around murdering all the wither skeletons in the Nether.
And as for the weapons, this is where things get interesting because it kind of like with Titans, you do have to have a special haft. In the case, basically, you're using beacons as the key material, and nether stars as your haft.
Okay, that's just hilarious. It somehow melds from two the sword somehow melds from a nether star and two beacons into the black thing that it is. Imagine if it did. Imagine if instead the sword just was you were holding a nether star that had two beacons attached to it, and you were just walloping people with two beacons.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny. Now, an interesting question is, do any of these have any special properties other than their large but rather serviceable amounts of damage?
Oh yes, they actually do. Each of them has a different applicable wither effect on each hit, with the hoe having the least and the sword having the most.
Okay, so it's like different levels of withering your enemy, basically.
Yes, so when you hit something with one of these tools or weapons, you inflict wither on them, and depending on how much more strong the tool is, like an axe does more wither than a pickaxe, which does more than a shovel.
I've also noted I see some music discs around here, so by any chance would those be able to be dropped by creepers or found in dungeons, or do you have to only get these in creative?
Why are there music discs lying on the ground?
I didn't say they were lying on the ground. I said they were lying around.
Oh yeah, the six new music discs. Yes, there's six new music discs. Three of them have themes that are actually played by special mobs in this mod. The other three are just themes I threw in there because they sound Minecrafty. One of them is actually Com 4, which is technically a song that was added in Minecraft, but it was
never
fully included. It sounds awesome though.
Yeah. Again, how do you find those, or are they creative only?
They're creative only.
Okay, a bit of a bummer, but hey, if I do another series in 1.8 straight, I would that includes my withers, or if it's ever updated, then I will find some way to roleplay that in.
you can technically get them in survival mode. It's just that it takes a hell of a lot of work to do it because you either need to kill a Christmas wither or a wither avatar, and hope that they drop it.
Yeah, those are some of the withers we'll be going over at some point. So apparently there's special
the sword also has a right click function.
Oh, really?
Other than block, the right click function is that it shoots a wither skull.
Okay, well, let me try that. Let me see here. Do I really want to just whack a cow?
Yeah. I don't know. Why don't you shoot the cow?
Poof. Okay, cow. You're gone. Okay, now I have beef. As you could imagine, I now have beef. It happens whenever you wither a cow to death. Rip cow. Rip anonymous cow.
2017 to 2017.
Yes, it had a very short lifespan. In fact, only within this one day. Okay.
Yeah, that's the right click action of the Wither Sword. You're able to shoot a Wither Skull. Essentially, you can now shoot like a Wither with this thing.
Just to
But
nailed you.
that's
I hate. Apparently an interesting extra about this is that they continue shooting straight despite going underwater. So you could conceivably use this to fight the Guardians and Elder Guardians if you found yourself an ocean monument, because I
yes.
am being
Like,
able to snipe these squids quite easily. And
well,
it's
that
obviously going through water. Now there's this guy on the surface that he's just gonna die because he was too easy to hit. But the fact is that I'm just just testing out the flight pattern of these wither skulls. Apparently works out quite well. Okay, that
yeah,
was a direct second hit, so I
yeah, and
just
unlike
maintained.
arrows, these Wither Skulls are not affected by water at all. Like
Exactly.
they don't droop down and slowly hit the ground. No, they just keep on going in a straight line. They might be slowed, but they don't stop.
This
Not
is
unless they hit the
this is the most random bat I've ever seen.
hit it. Hit
I'm
it with
just
the sword.
saying that there is a random bat that just happened to
Hit it
appear.
with the sword. I hate bats.
Well, you may. I usually just let them be if they're okie dokie. But this one is just he's just tempting me to hit him with this for a different reason. It's called I'd like to hit a very small target. Normally I don't mess with bats, but this one's just saying, hey, I appeared in broad daylight. This isn't my natural environment, and you just vaporized me with a wither skull. Okay. Okay, bat over. I'm sorry, bat. But I mean, you presented yourself as like just a really cool practice target. I mean, how many times do you get to shoot a bat in broad daylight? And what did he even fly out of?
I guess he spawned underneath a small overhang.
That
They
could
always
happen.
do that. That is why I hate bats. They find the smallest, teensy bitty little spaces to spawn in, and then they don't stop spawning.
It happens. Okay. Is there
Ah!
anything else important in the early stuff? We went over the armor, some tools. Is there anything that's really early game we need to go over with Mo Withers? Also note that I may have randomly picked up some items that may wind up
Um,
doing things.
one thing you might want to note, one thing you might want to take note of is the fact that you'll be facing some mobs that you'll encounter in the night or sometimes in caves. Like these aren't even withers. These are wither-esque creatures. So pretty large plethora of them too.
Let me see. Would I find that in miscellaneous? I think so.
Like most of those eggs are withers, but you can find at least a few that aren't withers. Like oh, I don't know, the lost I don't know, the lost skulls.
Well, I found some cultists, but I think they're. Oh, well, here's the lost skull. Okay,
Yes,
so these are some. There's also something called a blight, a
a
wane,
blight, a wane,
the atrophy,
an atrophy,
the shrivel,
a shrivel,
the deteriorator.
and that's it, I believe.
So all these are ones that you will randomly find at night or in other circumstances that aren't withers.
Yes. So to basically explain it,
So
pull up
here's
the
the
first
lost
spawner.
skull.
It's basically a flying skull.
Yeah, and apparently
Flying
it
mob
likes to
head.
detonate as if it was literally just a wither skull that had gotten out of hand.
That was a creeper head. Those
Yes,
explode. It's really annoying because they explode the moment they touch something.
and it did. If you're using spawn eggs as weapons, this would be handy because they do act as a mobile artillery.
And there are variants. There are different variants. So keep on right
Well,
clicking.
I've gotten two creepers in a row. Here's a wither skeleton skull,
Those inflict the wither effect.
and they seem to hit multiple times. They don't just explode. Now he's flying off into space.
If there's nothing to attack,
He doesn't even
they
know
just
where he's
wander
going
off.
right now.
If there's nothing to attack, they just wander off.
Define
Like,
irony. A lost skull being destroyed by a wither skull would be interesting. Even if I
There's such
inadvertently
small
kill the cow
targets.
myself.
It's really hard. There's such small targets. It's hard.
Hit him, but didn't destroy him. Okay, I'm chasing around this guy. Ooh. Oh, where do you... Oh, okay, lag spike at the exactly... That's the first time I've seen a lag spike this round, and it happened to be at the perfect moment for... Okay, I think he's trying to fly away. I think he knows I'm after him now. He's like, what's going on? Why am I getting shot at? He's like, what? It's like, I need to get out of here. Cause I need to jink my way out, you know? Jink those maneuvers. Have you ever heard of jinking? That's whenever you move your vessel chaotically to try to avoid an enemy. That's jinking. Okay, never mind. He might wind up drowning himself. Are they even vulnerable to drowning damage?
Nope.
Okay.
And they have very low amounts of hit points, so death by drowning is very quick.
Okay, so therefore he's not vulnerable, but just in case. Aha! Finally nailed him out of the sky. Thank you. Okay, just showing off various lost skulls. What's some other variants? Because I've seen Creeper and I've seen Wither Skull.
There's also player heads.
Okay.
And zombie heads and skeleton skulls.
Is the player heads usually just the common Steve?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the common Steve.
Okay, but so you'll see Steve's head basically. Okay, now let's check out the Blight. Okay, this is definitely not your average withered creature here, but it will inflict the wither very quickly. That's about 30 HP.
Oh, you're showing the
Blight.
The Blight. It's essentially a zombie
but with extra wither power.
With wither power. This guy hates all living things.
Yes, he's very aggressively going after various targets, including little harmless bunnies.
I am like what I'm based off of.
He's like a wither which doesn't like living things, so he should attack everything. Also, just zombies have the habit of killing living creatures, but in their case, usually they're after testificates specifically. They seem to always have a grudge. Now, that also brings up an interesting point. If he kills a testificate, does he convert them because he's based on a zombie?
I don't know. I don't remember. Why don't you test that out?
Okie dokie.
I'm pretty sure that testificates don't run away.
Yeah, because they don't register him as a zombie.
Which is very cruel in a sort of fashion.
Well, right now the Blight is
trying to
go out of the water.
We trusted you.
Does it know? Well, let's just see. This is an experiment. Will he convert a testificate? He converts him into a regular zombie villager. So it will convert, but not directly into a Blight. Okay. So that answers that question. So while he's going off that way and just taking out everything,
that answers that question.
So I will wither sword him. In fact, I'll one-shot him with the fact that this thing deals plus 80 damage. That just makes it so much easier. Just smack. I mean, he was easily in melee range. It's not like I was trying to snipe. So it was a lot easier than the previous one. So yeah, stuff happens. Okay, now that was the Blight. Now let's find the Wayne. Not Bruce, just Wayne. As you can see, it's a witherized spider with considerably more HP. It also seems to jump like crazy.
These guys are extremely finicky in terms of their fighting.
And also occasionally throws out wither skulls.
Yes, they also have a habit of doing a hit and run tactic constantly. It can be very annoying to the point.
Very skittery. I mean, this thing jumps around like crazy, then suddenly attacks, then like goes everywhere. So I can imagine fighting this would just be insanity in a weird way, because it just likes to go everywhere. Sometimes it's charging in your face where you can easily hit it, and sometimes it's suddenly jumping away. So it's just all over the place. I think I got hit despite being in creative. I think it just tried firing a skull at the exact moment that it jumped right behind me. Because I don't even remember it hitting me from the front. It's just like suddenly there was just an explosion.
Why did I pull out sponges?
So stuff happens around this thing.
Yes, these guys are nasty. Like, just try fighting it.
Very chaotic.
Just try fighting it. Just try fighting the damn thing. I dare you.
This thing is going everywhere very quickly. Boing, boing, boing. So this is the Wayne. But, to make sure that we can just move on, I'll just get rid of
Damn it,
this
it's
one
the
and we
wrong,
can
it's
examine
the
the
wrong
next one.
log. Wrong log. I need dark oak wood.
He's also trying to do some other stuff this time. He's, again, updating Engender. Wow, that dirt adds up fast.
I am obtaining a snapshots of the crafting of new crafting recipes.
Mm. Now, we're going on. That was the Wayne, which is a witherized spider on steroids. And now we're going to go with the Atrophy.
Yeah, these guys actually don't have a melee attack, but they have a much more sinister way of dealing damage to you.
Again, it's a witherized version of a creeper with a considerable amount of health.
Just by standing next to him, you can tell that he's dangerous.
Yeah, you can see the witherish particles going everywhere. And
you've been withered by
if you're
just being near
really,
him.
really close, you'll have the wither effect for a brief moment.
Yes, but so long as you stay close to him, he constantly applies it to you.
Yes, so you'll need to mainly maybe use reach weapons or
Hey,
distance
stop looking at
weapons
me.
to fight him.
Stop looking at me, pig.
Otherwise, things could happen. So now, because he's a wither-based mob, he doesn't actually take damage from the wither effect. In fact, it seems to heal him. So yeah. Now, do they explode, or do they just like withering you?
Oh, they
up
do.
close?
They do. They most definitely explode if you bring them low enough in health. Most of the time, they just follow you and attempt. They just follow you around and attempt to wither you to death.
Okay, so they'll use
They
their
have no.
explosions.
They have no melee. They have no melee attack of their own. All they can do is follow you and annoy the living crap out of you.
And explode. But they do that as a last resort. It seems to be an interesting theme with Enderman of Doom's mods, that when it comes to variations of creepers, they do something long before they decide to explode. But when they do explode, it's worse than normal by a lot. So, as you could imagine, this explosion is probably seriously tainting the area. So does the explosion wither you?
This guy in general just causes you to wither. Anything that stands near him is what gets withered.
But does the explosion cause wither as well?
I don't think so. This is not 1.11.2 where there are. This is not 1.9 where there's effect clouds. Although if it gets updated to when it gets updated to that version, I'm pretty sure the atrophy will when it blows up will just cause a big pool of wither to appear.
Yeah, and of course there's always the ability of possibly recoding it kind of like the actual wither skull attacks, where if you're caught in their explosion radius, you get withered. But I'm not sure how well that would work. Anyhow, you can see he has some interesting bonus drops, because in addition to gunpowder, like you'd expect from a creeper, you can also get nether wart. Now, will they show up in the nether or just overworld at night?
Both places, actually.
Interesting, because I just got nether wart. And now, I've only got a couple left before we'll probably need to move as quickly as we can.
Move on to the main part, but these are just some basic mobs.
Yes, we have the shrivel.
These guys you'll be finding in nighttime. Like they'll be most of these guys you'll find alongside zombies and skeletons and creepers.
Yeah, but here we have the shrivel, which, as you can see, is like a wither power tainted blaze.
Yes, so, this guy is dangerous. Stay away from him. All of his attack, everything about him is witherized.
Yes. Now, would he shoot like blaze fire?
He does not shoot. He does not shoot fire charges. He does not shoot fire charges. Just take a look.
Yeah, he's definitely looks like he would shoot wither skulls.
This guy is dangerous.
And he likes to go up and fly quite often. Now, he also apparently is very easy to get to targeting anything. I think he even targets creative mode players.
If you punch him.
I didn't even punch him, he's just firing. So, he's very, very aggressive. We'll shoot at you regardless. But either way, this shows up his combat ability a lot easier. Boing! Sorry. Needed to punch you on you. So you're gone. I have no idea where that accent's coming from. It happens. Has anyone ever heard of foreign accent syndrome? I don't exactly have it. I just like doing random accents.
You might also notice that they're making weird sounds upon being hit by anything or being killed.
Yeah, they can do that.
Eh.
This is
like,
also true of some of his other mobs and just like some new vanilla ones in general. So weird sounds may result from now on. Now that was the shrivel, but here's the deteriorator, which, as you can see,
This
looks
guy
like
is
a
the
witherized
toughest.
golem. So he just
This guy is a
looks-
lot tougher. This guy is a lot tougher than an Iron Golem. He does double damage, he has double health, and he absolutely despises Iron Golems, and Iron Golems absolutely despise him. If the two of them ever are within range of each other, they will ignore everything else around them and attack each other.
So
They
just
are
to do that,
mortal foe. They are mortal foes.
So just to do that, let me see, pumpkin. Let me see, where were your iron blocks? 'Cause I need
They
some
are
iron
mortal
blocks.
foes. Of course he goes and pulls out the stuff to build one of them. We want to see them. We want to see them fight each other. We want to see
it
their
has to
hatred.
happen.
We need to see their hatred for each other.
Like, it just has to happen. Sorry.
But seriously,
So,
these guys. But seriously, those two hate each other a lot.
Wait a moment. Why did that not work?
Also, the deteriorator does have a range attack. Where he literally just tosses wither skulls at you.
This is weird. My iron golem isn't manifesting. Oh, it's because of surrounding blocks. Sometimes you have to get rid of a few blocks in the general area that you'd otherwise spawn the golem. Otherwise, it doesn't register. I've ran into that a few times.
You can also summon one.
You can also see that they usually win against the iron golem because they're pretty darn tough. And with 200 HP, that means they won't get one-shot by this marvelous sword. Although,
they get
if you
two-shot.
will hit them, it may help.
They get 2-shot instead.
Well, he was already weakened from the iron, so things happen.
You probably made a really silly sound too.
Yes, that also is something that probably has happened. Wait a moment, what's my settings? Do I got things on for music and sounds? Everything should be, in fact, oh, that might be even louder than I thought. For some reason, I haven't been getting my sound in right now. I think it may have to do with my recording. So that may have been a little jacked. Otherwise, I apologize, and it would show why I usually do this with more time.
Yes, this was on the spur of the moment. Literally.
Yeah. So sorry if that was louder than normal. Now, I've done all those mobs. Is there anything else important before we head off here?
We can leave the cultists for their own video since they're so important.
And
But
they're kind
last
of a new
thing that we can do for this review is the sculpture. Show them the sculpture.
Oh yeah, we have a very special thing to do here. Now, this is special. You need some clay and some wither skeleton skulls. So again, you're on the path to the normal wither whenever you can do this. Now, how you will be doing a lot of these is you will be essentially enhancing this sculpture. But it also looks pretty cool in and of itself, and acts as a kind of decoration.
Yes, you also can. It acts. It has the same reactivity as a shulker in terms of colliding. Like you can't walk through it, you can't push it around. It kind of is there.
And you can stand on
there.
it. So
You
kind of acts
it.
as a half block,
You can
half
stand on
entity.
it.
So the health isn't relevant unless certain things happen. So
yeah, if you want to take its health down really quickly, just hit it with a pickaxe.
yeah. So apparently it's weak against pickaxes, not swords.
Pick it up with a pickaxe.
So wither pickaxe.
It does have 300 HP.
And even in creative, it comes back to you as an item.
Yes. It's dropping itself due to a special on death update thing. That's why.
Yes, again, half block, half entity. So special code means it can count itself as a drop.
It used to be where it would drop the recipe items, but now
so now break apart. And this time,
but now there's
decided,
an
it's
item.
better. It's the whole thing.
But now there's an item. It drops the item instead.
Okay.
So
but, previously,
now this thing,
did you have to build this thing before? Because it does have a recipe, obviously now.
the crafting recipe was the same, only I didn't have an item. So instead of using the item, I used a spawn egg.
Okay, okay.
But that was very iffy due to the fact that sometimes that if something were to override the spawn egg, instead of crafting the Wither Sculpture spawn egg, you'd craft, oh, I don't know, a bat spawn egg by accident.
Hmm. That
And it's
would be
like,
kind of fascinating. I haven't seen many things that overrided specific spawn egg locations. Usually it's kind of self-sorting, but again, this is 1.8 and things were a little weird, so I can kind of see that happening specifically in this version.
well, when
It
I
was a
hadn't needed
miracle whenever I did Solitary Craft Plus. I had 100 mods working together that didn't, uh, like corrupt the world entirely. So that's how lucky I was on 1.8.
well, with this particular mod, once the item was added, a lot of things were fixed.
Yeah, yeah. So this apparently did help things. So
So
anything else
let us
before we
explain.
hit
Let
up?
us explain what the sculpture is here for. Of course, if you really want to, you can just have it as decoration. Really
Yes.
expensive decoration.
Well,
This thing costs 3 wither skeleton skulls. Those aren't cheap.
yeah, and some clay. So therefore, this thing isn't cheap because you've got something that in vanilla Minecraft is a non-renewable resource, combined with something that's a really rare drop. So it's not easy getting a hold of one of these things
But
unless
hey,
you're playing with other mods.
if you decide to make it decoration, that's really fine. Just have like 2 of these, and now you have a walkway that has 2 wither sculptures. People get freaked out. Like, what the hell is that?
Now, normally
But it
speaking,
has a
there are
different use.
yes, there are different ways of augmenting this into the other withers.
Yes, and with most of them, it follows the same general path on how to craft a wither. First, you need the sculpture itself. You need it to be spawned in.
Which it is.
Then you right click it in order with the then you right click it in order exactly with the following items. The essence of the wither, which we will be stating in their specific videos.
Yeah, so these different essences, there's various things we're going to be doing with them later, and
Now,
it'll
if you
mostly
now
involve making withers.
here's a useful thing. If you really want to, you can technically use regular wither essence to summon a regular wither. Although instead of summoning one, it summons in 3
And note
upon
that this
completion.
is a bit expensive in and of itself, but in a different way.
Regu-
You need
regular
4
wi-
wither skeleton skulls, another star, and 4 bones for each of these wither essence. So again, that's for a regular wither. Now, by giving it different things, you get different essences that you would be augmenting this statue with.
Yes, that wither essence, that regular wither essence right there is the base form for all other essences. So
Yes.
you use the essence, then you use an enchanted book. Even if it isn't enchanted, it really doesn't matter what kind of enchanted book you use on it. So I don't know, go ahead and use your Bane of Arthropods books on it. because those have no use anyways either.
Let me see, which one is it that has the recipe for using an enchanted book?
Really, literally just any. Now, when you right click them with an essence, by the way, you may notice that a little figurine is floating in front of the sculpture.
Well, right now, I'm looking to see where that one is that has an enchanted book. Because right now, it's not one
Literally,
of them that's showing up.
literally any enchanted book. So
But is that crafting it with
this-
the essence? Because it's not showing up in the...
no crafting involved. This is the second item required. Just any enchanted book.
Oh,
After
okay,
you
okay.
right click it with the essence, like give a demonstration and right click it with the regular wither essence.
Okay, well, right now, I've got the... shoe bug. There was a bug in my face. Okay, okay, that was interesting. In fact, I can put these spawn eggs up because I don't need them anymore, and that'll give me a little more room on my hotbar. Okay, so regular wither essence. Okay, we have a statue here. I have clicked it with the wither essence, and it's showing me a regular wither.
There's a regular wither. This is just a demonstration. This can be done with any of the essences to
Now,
work the same.
Here I
Now
have an
then
enchanted book
then
that's
you,
just
now you
randomly
need
grabbed.
the enchanted book. Also, you need the difficulty not to be on peaceful mode.
Yes, that I know I definitely have because I'm pretty sure it's on normal.
It very
I
much.
glanced my
It also
options.
does. It also you. This also is once again sound orientated, so you will be acknowledged about certain completions by sound.
Okay, so I've given it the Wither Essence and a random enchanted book. Is there anything else I need to use
Final
to light
thing
'em up?
required is a nether star. Now the nether star itself is not consumed. You just need to right click it to activate to activate them merging.
Okay, so normally these two items, whichever your essence is chosen and whatever enchanted book you use, would be consumed, but the nether star would not. It's just
Like
more of a catalyst. So in this case,
cattle.
you're not burning up a nether star. And now
And
we have a series of 3 withers, and this is because it was spawned in that way. So if you use the regular wither
due to
essence,
how
you will
minimally
have an enhanced
powerful,
number of regular withers. If you use
due to how
specialized essence,
minimal
you'll get
power,
1 special wither instead.
due to how minimal in power regular withers are compared to the others, it spawns in multiple.
Yes, so this guy is gonna get whacked really fast because I have
This
a
does
wither sword.
enable withers. This does enable nether star farming for for your requirements. Like
Hmm.
instead of fighting a single wither, just do this.
I've also noticed something special. Apparently, the wither sword, despite the fact it says it has plus 80 damage, is one-shotting anything that's also got some kind of wither-related activity.
You're wearing the set. That's why.
Well,
Also,
yeah, I do have
also
I
you
do have
probably
strength 3.
you also did get an achievement from doing that.
Yes, I did.
Deja vu.
Yes.
Kill a wither with a wither sword.
In fact, let me pop over here, and you can see
There's an
there's an
achievement
entire
tree.
achievement tree here in Mo Withers, and I've done a few already. Like Deja Vu, kill a wither with the wither sword. Another beginning, sculpt one of the withers with your wither sculpture. And then you have an entire chain of ones that I'll be getting while I'm doing the reviews, because
There's also a
those
whole
few lead
different.
into
There's
the others.
also another branch leading away, as well as other things relating to the mod that, as well as other achievements relating to the mod. For example, a rare one that's also not connected to anything. Like it's next to Deja Vu. It's the lightning bolt looking one.
Yeah, this invokes some very specialty items that are mostly for fun. So,
Yes,
yeah, I guess you could say this is
apparently.
a creative-only achievement, because I don't think you can get any of this stuff in survival now, right?
Oh, technically now you can. Once again, thanks to the fact that the Christmas Wither and the Wither Avatar can drop anything from any mod.
Ah, okay. So there is a way, it's just
I've
very
had
unlikely.
I've seen them even drop command blocks and dragon eggs and barriers.
Yeah, so
Things
that's...
you wouldn't be getting normally. They can drop anything.
So it's basically like trying to fight the king and or spawn getting, like, anything possibly as a drop.
Only, believe it or not, the Wither Avatar drops more than the King. I think of like twice as much.
Okay, that's gonna be a little rough on somebody's drop count at some point.
Yes, yes, it will. He's not called. He's called the King of Lag for a reason.
Yeah, yeah, like purposely the king of lag, so, like, you will be down on your fraps like you wouldn't believe. But we're about out of time, and I think that was the last thing we
This
needed
is
to
the first.
demonstrate on this
This is the
introduction
first
to the Mo
review.
Withers mod.
This is the first review, so we will
And
be
this is
ending
ironically
it
probably going to
off.
be a lot longer than our our later ones, because the others will mostly be focusing on one wither at a time, and we've already shown most of the beta I don't know, lips, darn you. We've already shown most of the basic items, and the thing is, we'll probably be doing only things directly relevant to them along the way, with just like a few miscellaneous things here and there. Like I was talking about the music discs earlier, they're kind of a bit miscellaneous, but there is at least apparently a way for them to drop, and that has to do with the withers that have very
Al-
special loot.
Albeit, it's probably the hardest and most painful way of obtaining them.
Yeah, again, I wish it was easier to just add music disc to the event drop for creepers.
Probably could try that.
I mean, it might be easier than you might
It's
think. I mean, it might
possible.
just be like insert music disc type thing here, and then you're like, oh, okay. I mean,
It's
it's
possible.
already, if you think about it, Withers already have one of the highest number of individual items to drop, just because they have all 12 music discs plus their gunpowder. So depending on how you kill them, you might get like one of like 13 different items, and that's, I mean, that's not taking into account how some creatures equipped have a pretty good variety, but just the fact that by default without equipment, creepers have technically 13 drops. I mean, just think about that. Okay.
Well,
Anyhow,
that beside the fact that will be this first review for now, at least.
yes, I am preparing to head off. So
We
this
will
is
be doing
pretty
more.
much everything for this part of the review for now. So this is Glitch Reaper with Enderman of Doom, and we'll be logging off and like to hear from you all later.
All right.
So,
So bye for now.
yep, bye for now, everybody.